I'm not going to lie, this practice is a challenging one. But like always, you have permission to do as you need, take care of yourself, have the practice that suits you. If it doesn't work for you, leave it out. If something did work for you, do it again. It's your practice, be you, enjoy your practice, and do what you need. The rest will happen and take care of itself. Peace.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Welcome. My name's Keith. Namaste. No doubt that if you've ever practiced with me in real life, you've heard me say something like, we are a spark of the divine. And I say that to remind myself, but to remind everyone else as well, that we are individual, but we're not individual. That we are separate, but we are not separate. And this idea isn't mine. It comes from the Upanishads. And the Isha Upanishad opens up by saying, all this is full, all that is full. From fullness, fullness comes. When fullness is taken from fullness, fullness remains. And it's important to remember that always, but especially when things seem to be in flux, whenever doubt seems to be the prevailing feeling. Because when things are in flux, that's nature. That's what we call the gunas. These qualities of nature that are always changing. The quality of rajas, which is running all the time. And the quality of tamas, which is heavy, stuck. And even the quality of sattva, which is a balanced, peaceful, blissful kind of quality. They're always changing. They're always changing their relationships to each other. And nature in flux can feel like it's taking us with us. And it can if we let ourselves be taken by it. But if we remember that even in the midst of all the change, if we remember that even in the midst of all the flux, that we are that spark. And if we are that spark, we're changeless. It doesn't matter how many things change around us. We are not in flux. Our absolute core truth is not in flux because we are that spark. And verse 5 of that Isha Upanishad says, the self, with a big S, seems to move, but is ever still. He seems far away, but is ever near. He is within all and transcends all. That which seems to move but is actually still. That which seems to be far but is actually near. That thing that is within all but is so much more than all. And if we are a spark of that, if we are made of that, if we are that, then that also describes us. We seem to be in flux, but we are not. We seem to be out of reach, but we are so near. And we seem to be within everything, but we're so much more than can be contained within anything. And it's from that place that I'd like you to practice today. Perhaps that means that you just sit with that idea. You turn off the video now, and you sit with the understanding that your truth, your being, cannot be held by anything, that you transcend everything. Or perhaps as you move with my instructions and follow along with my practice, that that's the prevailing thought that you carry. From there, we're going to take a mudra. So I'll get a little bit closer to the camera so you can see my hands. Take your hands in front of you and drop your index fingers so that they point in at each other. And then cross your index fingers so they make a bit of an X. Join your pinky, ring, and middle fingers. And then look at your hands so that your thumb tip connects to your index finger tip of the opposite hand. And when you hold that connection of your thumbs and index fingers forms a bit of an infinity symbol. So let that be the shape of the mudra, this infinite mudra, and then bring it right down in front of the center of your heart. And hold on to that. And then as that floats in front of your heart, let it be the gesture that reminds you of you, that you are infinite without end. And you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But as you breathe in, let your breath come in over a count of 1, 2. And then exhale over that same count of 1, 2. Do that again. Breathing in, 2. Exhaling, 2. Add to that as you breathe in, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. Add to it in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue. Continue breathing this way and listen to the mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashisyate Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashisyate Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashisyate. This mantra is the opening from the Isha Upanishad. This is fullness, and that is fullness. From fullness comes fullness. When fullness is separated from its source, fullness remains. Bring your hands into a prayer. Feel free to change the crossing of your legs and switch which leg is in front. And as we begin to move, I'll be your mirror. Put your hands start off on your knees. Roll your shoulders down and just make sure you feel like you're sitting on your sitting bones. Exhale everything out. And then when you breathe in, hook your right elbow underneath your left and take a breath in. When you exhale, simply release to where you started. Take it the other way so that your left elbow comes underneath, breathing in. And then exhale, release that. Add to it as you breathe in and hook your right elbow underneath. Inhale. And then turn to your right. Take a twist. So you can drop your hand on your knee and tent your opposite fingers around behind you. Come back to center. Simply exhale your hands onto your knees. Breathe in and take your left elbow underneath. And then when you exhale, twist over toward the left side. Just rest your hand on your knee, tent your fingers behind you, and then exhale back to center. Add to that as you breathe in, hook your right elbow under. Exhale over to the right side and take a twist. And then begin to lean your shoulder down to your knee and reach up toward the sky with your right arm. Cross over your body as you exhale. And then eagle your arms together for the other side, breathing in. And exhale, twist over toward the left. And then begin to drop your right shoulder down. Raise your left fingers up. Cross over your body so you make an X with your arms. And then do it again. Breathe in, your right elbow under. Turn and take your twist to the right. Drop your left shoulder. Raise your right arm. And then cross over so that your left elbow is under when you eagle your arms together. And then take your twist over to the left side one more time. And begin to drop down across yourself. Raise your left arm into the sky. Cross over your body. And then eagle your arms together. And simply release your hands down to your knees. Take a breath all the way in. And all the way out. And then begin to shift off your seat onto all fours. As you get set up, make sure your shoulders feel like they're mostly over the top of your wrists. The tops of your feet press into the ground for a moment. Sink in so you feel your palms melting into the mat, and then grow the full length of your arms up into your shoulders. Curl your toes under, and begin to go up with your hips to lengthen your legs, moving into downward facing dog. Pedal around there, and let your hips shift from side to side. Settle in, pause. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. As you breathe in, move your right foot forward and take a lunge. And use your exhale to lengthen through your right leg. Bend into your right knee. And then step back with your exhale, downward facing dog. Move your left foot up to the front, breathe in. And then as you exhale, lengthen through your left leg. Let your head drop. Bend into your front knee, fill up your heart. And then step backward, downward facing dog. Do that again as you inhale your right foot forward. Lengthen through your right leg, breathe out. Breathe in to bend into your front knee. And then step to the back of your mat, downward facing dog. Roll out long, this time for plank pose. And lower down onto your belly. Point your toes, lift up your head, and shift onto your left elbow so you can roll onto your left side. And line up your legs so they grow right out of your body. Bend your right knee and take hold of your right big toe. Extend your right leg long, coming into Anantasana, or Vishnu's couch, and then let it go so you can roll back onto your belly. Peel up a little cobra, and then downward facing dog as you exhale. Shift your left foot forward with a breath in. Stretch out your left leg, breathe out. Bend into your front knee, and then step back for downward facing dog. Roll out long for plank, shoulders right over your wrists. Exhale down to the ground. Lift your head, shift onto your right elbow so you can roll to your right side, stack your ankles. Bring your left knee to a bend and grab your left big toe, and then extend your left leg up to the ceiling, Anantasana. And then let go of your leg so you can roll onto your belly. Peel up a little cobra. And then back you go, downward facing dog. Begin to walk your feet forward. Fold into yourself. And then ease your way up to stand. Pour into your feet. Settle your shoulders. And breathe all the way out. We'll use some of that in your sun salutation, in your Surya Namaskar. So stay here in Tadasana at the front of your mat. Exhale into your feet. And then with your breath in, raise your arms up alongside your head. Exhale and fold over yourself. Inhale your left foot back for a lunge, breathing in. And then exhale, take the twist as your right arm opens into the sky. Inhale and make both legs long, pivot into parallel feet. Press into your right hand and exhale your left arm into the sky, twisting the opposite direction. Lunge to the back of your mat, breathing all the way in. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. Stretch out long for plank pose. Bend your elbows and lower all the way down. Roll to your right side. Bend your left knee. Extend your left leg. And then slowly release down onto your belly. Peel up a little cobra. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. Step your right foot forward with a breath in. Step into yourself and fold over as you exhale. All the way up to stand, breathe in. And then release your arms down by your sides. Inhale your arms up. Exhale and fold forward, Uttanasana. Step your right leg back with a breath in. Exhale your left arm into the sky. Drop your hand, both legs get long. Set your left hand down, and then exhale your right arm into the sky. Lunge over to your right toes, breathing in. And then step back, downward facing dog. Roll out long for plank. Lower down. Shift over to your left side and grab hold of your right big toe. extend your right leg. And then slowly release over onto your belly. Peel up a little cobra. And then downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot forward. Step in and fold over both legs. Up to stand, reach up. And then release your arms down by your sides. Do it again, breathing in. Inhale, arms up. Fold over, touch down. Send your left leg back, breathing in. Exhale your right arm into the sky. Move into a straddle shape. Center your right hand and exhale your left arm into the sky. Lunge to the back of your mat to your left foot. And then downward facing dog. Roll out long for plank pose. Lower all the way down. Roll to your right side. Take hold of your left big toe and extend Anantasana. And then slowly let it go onto your belly. You can move your hands back a notch in line with your ribs. Keep a cobra or add upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot forward. Step your feet together. Fold into your legs. All the way up, breathing in. Release your arms and breathe out. Inhale your arms up. Fold over and touch down. Step back with your right leg. And then exhale your left arm into the sky. Move into a wide straddle, Prasaridana. Take your left hand down and raise your right arm up. Pivot and lunge over to your right leg. And then step back, downward dog. Roll out long for plank. And go all the way down. Move over to your left side. And grab your right big toe. Inhale your right leg long. And then release, release, release. Move to your belly. And you can adjust your hands. Stay with cobra or lengthen your arms and float your legs. Downward dog. Inhale your left foot up to the front. Exhale your right foot alongside it. And bow into yourself. Rise up to stand, breathing in. And release your arms by your sides. Exhaling. Inhale your arms up. Fold over. And touch the ground. Just simply step back into downward facing dog. And pause here. Breathe all the way in. And all the way out. Give yourself one more breath. And then use your breath in to step your right foot forward up by your hands. Cross your left leg behind. And then use your right hand to touch your left ankle and your left hand to touch your right ankle. Just pause there. Release your hands onto the mat again. Step back into a lunge. And stretch your right leg long. And as you do, pivot your left heel into the ground. Press into your right fingers or block or your leg. And open up triangle pose. Release your hand down. And step your way back, downward facing. Roll out long for plank. You can lower part of the way or all the way. You can have cobra or upward facing. Back to downward facing. Inhale your left foot up to the front. Cross your right leg behind. So your left hand will touch your ankle that crossed behind, and your right hand will keep with the foot that's on the mat. Release both hands and step to the back of your mat. Lengthen through your left leg, turn down your right heel, and then open up, triangle pose. Keep plugging into your left hip with your left leg. Release your hand and step your way backward, downward facing. Roll out long for plank. Bend your elbows. Open your chest the way that's best for you. And downward facing dog. Drop to your knees for a moment. I mentioned earlier the gunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva. And that those are the qualities of nature that are in flux, that can make us feel like we are in flux. So by themselves, unharnessed, disorganized, they are not our friend. But when they're organized, those pieces come together to form a whole that's much more stable. And that is symbolized by a triangle. The three qualities forming a whole of stability. So a lot of what we're going to experience in these first shapes are going to be based in triangle. Come back onto all fours and find downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot up to the front. As you cross your left leg behind, let it float. Catch your ankle with your right hand. Have your left hand on your right ankle. This quality of the infinity symbol, crossing over. Undo as you step out. Stretch out through your front leg, ground your back heel. Take your right hand inside your right foot. Move your left hand onto your left hip. Rotate open for triangle pose, but begin to reach your left arm forward. Turn open at your chest. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. And then release your hand, bend your knee, and step back, downward dog. Roll out long for plank. Hover or go to the ground. You can always leave this out. Upward facing and downward facing. Inhale your left foot forward. Cross your right leg behind. Catch your ankle with your left hand. Hold your two ankles. Form an infinity symbol. Release as you step out. Lengthen. Ground your heel. Move your left hand to the inside. Open up your chest and add your right arm alongside your head. And then roll open a bit more. Breathing all the way in and out. Release, bend, downward dog. Stretch out long for plank. Bend your elbows. Flip your toes. Into downward dog. Inhale your right foot forward. Cross your left leg behind. Catch your ankle with your right hand. Pause. As you release, your right hand already goes to the inside. Stretch your leg and move your right hand back to your inner left thigh by your knee. Turn open. Open your left arm into the sky. Sweep your left arm low toward the ground in a full circle. Look down and see your own right big toe and go up onto your right heel. See if you can make contact with your own toe. And then slowly bend your right knee, release both hands. And step back, downward dog. And have a vinyasa of plank and chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Inhale your left foot forward, cross your right ankle behind, catch it with your left hand, hold your two ankles, infinity. When you step out, your left hand's already going inside, both legs long. Reach back and find the inside of your right leg, turning open. Add your right arm. Let it sweep toward your hip, toward the ground, and around in front. Open up. Look down, see your big toe, let your hand drop up to your heel, and maybe you make contact. As you soften all of your joints, both hands go to the floor. Step back for downward dog. Roll out for plank. Bend your elbows. Flip your toes. And then downward facing. One last time, move your right foot up to the front. Cross behind with your left ankle. Hold onto your two ankles with your opposite hands. Step out, move your right hand inside. Both legs get long. Reach for the inside of your left leg. Right from there, sweep your left fingers forward toward your right big toe. Peel up to your heel, see your big toe. From there, turn open through your chest. Look over to the left side. And then perhaps you press the ball of your right foot toward the ground. One last breath. Release the grip. Bend your right knee. Step into plank pose. Bend your elbows. Open your chest. Back to down dog. Inhale your left foot to the front. Cross behind. Take your two ankles. As you're stepping out, move your left hand inside. Both legs get long. Your left hand goes to the inside of your right leg. Right where you are, peel up onto your left heel. Send your right fingers to find your left big toe. And then you can press down with your own foot and turn open. One last breath. Release the grip. Bend your knee. Breathe into plank pose. Bend your elbows. Over your toes. Downward dog. Pause here. All the way out. One last breath. And then see where the front of your mat is. Take a walk there. And fold into yourself. All the way up to stand. And then release your arms. And pause. Right here in this Tadasana where you're already standing, don't change your feet. I'll go back to mirroring you here for a moment. Inhale your arms up alongside your head. And then exhale, fold forward. Move your right fingers forward on the mat. Tent them. Put the weight down into your right foot. And then move your left leg back in space for Ardha Chandrasana. Raise your left arm into the sky. And turn open. And then close all of that down. Close your hip, drop your fingers, fold over both legs. Stay right here. Simply move the weight into your left fingers and your left foot. Move your right leg back in space. Open up. Ardha Chandra. Close that down. Step into yourself and fold over. Come to your fingertips the same way. Shift the weight into your right foot. But as your left leg goes back in space, open your hip, bend your knee. Keep your left fingers on the floor. Send your right arm back in space and grab hold of the big toe side of your foot. Continue to open your hip. You can flip to the baby toe side of your foot there and still look at the ground toward the back side of your mat. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Close it all down. Both feet to the floor. Move your left fingers forward. The weight goes into your left foot. Move back with your right leg, but then bend your knee. Keep your right fingers on the floor. Move your left hand back. Find your foot. Continue to open up through your right hip. Take hold of the pinky toe side of your foot. You can gaze to the floor at the back side of your mat. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. And then slowly release it. Inhale up to stand. So that might be the shape, and you can do that again. Or you can follow the instructions that I'm about to lead you through and take it into the full Chapasana variation. Arms up, breathing in. Fold over and touch down. Put the weight into your right foot, but move your right arm so it moves in between your two legs. Bend both knees so you can shift your right arm back a little bit and feel your shoulder against your inner knee. From there, move your left fingers forward. Push into your right foot to begin to lift your left foot. Catch your foot as it crosses behind, just like when you were doing that earlier. But then extend long through your right leg. Press the ground with your left fingertips. Continue to open up some space from your standing leg to your lifted knee. So from your right inner thigh to your left inner knee. Breathing all the way in. And then soften. And release. Fold into yourself. Tent your fingers. And then begin to move your left arm in between your two legs. Bend both knees so you can move your left shoulder to the inside of your knee. Put the weight into your left foot. Remember, your right fingers go forward and tent. Kick your right leg behind you, just like earlier. And it's your hand that's in between. So you can move your left hand onto your right foot. Extend through your right arm. Extend through your left leg. Keep opening up. Keep your head heavy. So your gaze, just like before, goes to the floor at the back side of your mat. Breathing all the way in. And all the way out. And then soften through all your joints. And release, release, release. Empty into yourself. And then slowly come back up. Empty everything away. Give yourself one more breath here. Drop the weight over into your right foot here. And draw your left leg up. Right from there, use your peace fingers and hold onto your big toe. Your right hand can go onto your hip. This might be where you stop. Or you can begin to extend your leg out to the side. You're going to keep your hand on your hip for this one. And then slowly soften and simply come back to Tadasana. Shift to the other way. So the weight goes down into your left foot. Draw your right knee up. Peace grip with your fingers around your big toe. Move your left hand to your hip and get tall. And then you can stay there or extend now through your right leg to the right. And then soften. Release. So you can do that one more time, or take the opposite grip, the opposite hand, this crossover of hands and feet. So as you draw up with your left leg, both arms go inside. So I can use that to hoist my own knee a little bit higher. And then it's going to be my right peace fingers around my left big toe. So I can drop my left hand inside my leg. So as I extend, a little bit like that infinite triangle. And then soften. And shift the weight over into your left foot. Again, you can do it without the crossover. Or draw up through your knee. Take both arms inside so you can hoist your foot up. You can stay there or use your left fingers on your right big toe and drop your right hand to your left leg. Extend first through your upper leg and then through your standing leg. Breathing in. And then soften. And release. Breathe all the way out. Inhale your arms up. Fold over and touch the ground. Step your way into downward facing dog. And breathe all the way out. One last breath here. And I'll continue to mirror you here. Inhale your right foot forward. And then stretch long through your right leg. Pivot over to the left side. Parallel your 2 feet. Turn your heels in, toes out, coming into a horse stance. And then both hands up onto your knees. Sink in for a moment. And then cross under with your left elbow. Eagle your arms. Sink your hips, but lift your elbows. Draw your elbows into your body and reach over with your left hand to touch your right knee and then cross over so that both hands have a knee. Breathe all the way across your back body. And then slowly release both hands over toward your right foot. Pivot up with your back heel so that your toes face forward. Drop into your back heel and fold over your leg. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Turn that into a lunge so you can step back into downward dog. Breathe all the way out. Shift your left foot forward with the breath in. Stretch long through your leg. Walk over to the right. Parallel your 2 feet and pause. Turn your heels in and your toes out. And then climb your hands up onto your knees. Right from there, eagle under with your right arm. Grow long through your spine. Sink in. Pull your elbows toward your belly. Lean toward your left knee and grab. Reach across the other way. Place. Spread your back. And then release to the front of your mat. Pivot onto your back toes. And then drop into your back heel so that you can fold over your left leg for Shift and bend into a lunge, downward dog. Shift your right foot forward. Exhale your leg long. Pivot over to the left. Turn your heels in, your toes out. Take your hands up to your knees. Eagle under with your left elbow. Sink in. Lean to the front and drop a hand. Lean to the back and drop a hand. Spread, spread, spread. And then see if your left hand can drop down toward your shin, so that as you undo your right arm, you can bend your left elbow and look at the ground. Begin to twist. Breathing all the way in. And then release both hands over to your right toes. Pivot onto your back toes. Drop your back heel. And then move your left hand close to your right foot. And twist one more time for revolved triangle. Firm up through your back leg. And then release, release. Step into plank pose. Bend your elbows. Flip your toes. And meet back up. Downward dog. Shift your left foot to the front. Stretch your leg. Walk over to the right. Heels in, toes out. Climb up. Pause. And then take it under. Right elbow at the bottom. Sink. Lean to the front. Drop a hand. Lean to the back. Drop a hand. Spread your back. So there's a little lean to the front, so you can drop your hand down towards your shin. Unfurl your left arm. You can look down, begin to revolve, and then your gaze might go up. Both hands over by your left foot. Pivot to your back toes as your legs get long. Drop into your back heel. Move your right hand closer. And then revolve, and your left arm can go up. Breathe all the way out. And then slowly release. Breathe into plank pose. Bend your elbows. Upward facing. Downward facing. One last time with your right foot coming forward. Lengthen your right knee. Walk over to the left. Heels in, toes out. Climb your hands up on top. Left elbow under your right. Sink and lift. Lean to your right, drop a hand. Lean to your left, drop a hand. Spread your back. Lean to the front, let your left hand go down. Start to open up your right arm, but then lean to the back. Maybe your hand goes around and you find your inner leg. You can also do what you did last time. Bend your left elbow, and then gaze to the right. Undo it. Lean to the front. Tuck your back leg in. And have a seat. Twist over to the right side. Sinking into your sitting bones. One last breath. And then undo it. Counter twist. Right from there, you can swing your right leg back. Step into plank. Bend your elbows. Upward facing. Downward facing. One last time with your left foot. Stepping forward. Lengthen your knee. Walk over to the right. Parallel. And then heels in, toes out. Take your right elbow under. Sink, sink, lift, lift. Undo your hands, lean to the left, touch. Lean to the right, and touch. Spread your back. And then as you lean to the front, your hand can slide down. As you begin to twist, open up your left arm. You can do what you did before, or lean to the back and wrap around. Bend through both elbows, and then look to the left. Soften. Both hands over to the front. Tuck your back leg in. Have a seat. And twist to the left. Slowly undo. And counter over before swinging your left leg around. Stepping into plank. Bend your elbows. Upward facing. And downward facing. Drop to your knees. Have a seat on your heels. Pause. For this next part, you might need a blanket. We're going to go upside down and have a headstand variation. If you don't invert, or if inverting is not safe for you, just skip over this part. You can watch, you can sit and listen, or you can move ahead in the video. I spread my blanket across my mat, and it's just there to provide enough softness for my head. In this variation of headstand, almost everything's going to be on the floor. Only one foot's going to make it into the air. So there's not much chance of feeling as though you could fall over. You could always pull over to a wall if that makes you feel a little bit more secure. But the wall is not really there to actually be the goal. It's just there to add a sense of security. Okay? When you take headstand, you want to make sure that you're on the top of your head, not somewhere on the front or toward the back. So it's important to make sure that you're aware of where the pressure is going so that you don't change the shape of the back of your neck into some shape that isn't healthy for your neck. And if you're not sure, just leave it out. Err on the side of caution. When I set this up, I'm going to go down and place my head directly on the ground. I'll start with both hands around the back side of my head, but I'll know that one hand is going to come away. So that from there, just holding the back of my skull, I want to feel the shape of my neck nice and neutral. Curl under your toes and make your legs long. So this might be your stopping place. This is a great place to be. Or I can take my left hand back toward the edge of my mat with my palm open. And then both feet are going to step across the mat. So it's an opposite hand and foot. So with my left palm open, I'm going to step my right foot into the palm. From there, press down against the floor with my right foot to take my left leg up into the sky very slowly. And then there's a slight crossing into the midline of that leg. But all the work is happening in my foot pressing into my hand. I shouldn't feel any tension or strain in my neck. That's stable. And then slowly that leg is going to come back down. Walk both feet back to center. And then I'm going to trade hands so that now I've got my left hand around the back of my skull. And my right hand can go back palm open. Both hands step over to that side. So I can step my left foot into my right hand, so opposite hand to foot. Happily stay right here. Or begin to press down with the ball of your left foot into your palm. You can grip your own foot some as your leg starts to go up.
Get longer through your upper leg by pressing into your lower foot. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. And then slowly release. Both feet to the mat. And then slowly drop your knees. Point your toes. Have a seat on your heels. And give yourself a couple breaths. Breathe all the way in and out. And then you can fold up your blanket and move it off to the side. And then move your hands forward like you were going to go to all fours. Pull your right knee forward and snake your knee around in front so that you can have your two knees lining up and then your 2 feet open out across to the edges of your mat. Come up to stand on your knees. Now, of course, you could pad this as well. Because my right knee is in front, I'm going to take my right arm down below and wiggle that up. So I'm going across my body to my left shoulder blade. And then the opposite's going to happen as I raise up with my left arm and reach down. I can hold on to my hand. So if your hands don't come together here, no worries. You can just touch the back of your head and have your lower arm resting against your back. It's not super important to get your hands to touch. Just a moment to open up some shoulder space. And then slowly release. Crease into your hips. Drop your right hand, drop your left hand, and then undo your knees so that you're on that almost quasi all fours again. And then pull your left knee forward, snake around. And line up your 2 knees, flare out your feet. Walk your hands in, come up to stand on your knees. Lower your left arm around. And even there, you can just stop, sort of resting against your back. Or you can start to reach across your back toward your shoulder blade. Before your right arm goes up, this is another great place to stop. You can drop your hand behind and touch your skull, your neck, or perhaps your 2 hands find each other. The standing version of, or kneeling version of Gomukhasana. Cow face pose. And then slowly release. Crease your hips. Drop your left hand first, then your right. And then undo yourself so you're on your knees again. And then have a seat. And then do it again one more time so that your right knee is in front, your left knee is behind. Flare your feet out. Walk your hands up. Lower your right arm behind you the way you did. Take your left hand up and perhaps you find your hands. The second time always feels a little bit easier. And then right from there, keep your hips right where they are. Release your hands. Rest your left hand on your belly. Let your right arm reach back as if you were going to go up your back again, but then see if you can find your own heel. It's closer than you think. Now drop your left hand. Open your arm. Press into the floor with your legs and let your hand find your heel. Bring your chin to your chest a little bit and then puff your chest. Press the ground. Open your gaze up. Bring your chin in. Release your hands. Crease your hips. Drop your right hand and then your left. And then change it around. So you bring your left knee in front. Visiting perhaps just with kneeling Gomukhasana or taking it into the Ustrasana variation. So up on your knees. Let your left arm go back and up. And then your right arm can go to the sky and drop. You can stay here and play, or release your hands. You can even place your right hand on your hip as you drop your left hand back for the opposite heel. So it's opposite hand to foot again. And then release through your right arm. Chin toward your chest. Puff your chest. Press the ground. Open your gaze. And then chin in, hand, crease. Drop through your left fingers, drop through your right fingers. Undo. And have a seat. Breathe all the way in. And out. Good. And then you're going to lie down on your belly. And have your knees bent. Setting up for bow pose. Open up your chest. And then reach back with your left hand for your left ankle. Reach back with your right hand for your right ankle. Try to keep your knees from splaying. Roll your shoulders back. Press the ground with your pelvis. Send your thighs up. And then lift. And then slowly release. Drop your hands, rest your chin. Windshield wiper your knees. Good. And then set it up one more time and you can do exactly what you did before. Or when you begin to reach back with your left hand, reach across. And then from there, reach back with your right hand. Cross your own wrist. So you've got opposite hand to feet, but not crossing your ankles, only crossing your wrists. Narrow in. Puff. And then begin to extend the reach. Breathing in. And then slowly come on down. Windshield wiper your ankles. So if you did the crossover, it's a good idea to do one more time just so you're balanced in terms of the setup of it. If you didn't do the crossover, you can just chill for a moment. Lift your chest. Send your right arm back and cross over. So right hand to your left ankle. And then reach back with your left arm. Cross over. And find your opposite ankle. Narrow in. Use that to puff your chest. Press down into the ground with your pelvis. Send your thighs up. Breathing in. Float here. And then release. Windshield wiper your ankles and your feet. And then right from there, hands by your chest. Press into the ground. And have a seat on your bum. And then once you're here, and I'll still mirror you, bend your left leg. So you bring your sole into your right thigh someplace. And then from there, walk both hands over to the right for a twist. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. You can always take it deeper if you like.
a lot in this particular practice, so simplify what you need. And then counter twist over to the left. Turn your body. Cross over. So you use your right hand against your leg as you begin to lean your shoulder, like that early twist that you did with crossed legs. And then send your left arm into the sky, over your body. You can see where your own toes are, like your infinity triangle. And then if you took hold of your own foot, take your gaze to the side again. For Parsvajanusirsasana. Take one more breath to roll open your armpit and chest. And then slowly undo it. Turn and face your right toes, and then fold over your right leg. Try to drop down through your left shoulder some. And slowly up to sit. And switch sides. Extend your left leg, bend your right knee. Walk both hands over to the left for a twist. Try to stay as vertical as possible, rotating at your middle more than at your head. Always go deeper if that's right for you, or stay where you are. But continue to hook your left shoulder blade back on your body. Soften or bend through your left elbow. And then as you come around for the counter twist, Parsvajanusirsasana, cross over with your left hand, lean with your left shoulder. Reach up with your right arm. You can stay here or reach over toward your foot. You can gaze in that direction. Join your big toe and your fingers, and then re-articulate your gaze over to the right side. Breathing all the way into your ribs. Rolling open one more time with your right armpit. And then slowly undo. Turn and face your left leg. And fold over the top. Drop down through your right shoulder. And slowly come on up. Take both legs long and wide. And this might be enough, just to simply sit up on your sitting bones and have your legs wide to work the vertical of your spine, to hold your spine with the muscles of your torso. If you like, you can start to hinge at your hips and drop your elbows. Grow some length at the back of your neck. You can stay here or stack your hands on top of each other and move your shoulder blades wider as you fold a little bit deeper. Puff your chest open, and then you might bring your head down to your hands. Breathe all the way through your spine into your legs. And slowly come back up. Narrow your legs. And then from this place, you're going to go down onto your side. So I'll continue to mirror you here.
Come down onto your left hip. When you get down there, rest on your side. Put a bend into your right leg, just like you did earlier for Anantasana. But you're going to use your opposite hand here. So now I'm going to reach over with my left fingers and hold my big toe. If I use my right hand on the floor toward the edge of the mat, then I can support myself as you extend your leg. And once your leg is long, this might be it. It can be like that standing shape that you did earlier. You can simply touch your thigh. Or if you can feel your shoulder inside your leg, tent your fingers and bend through your left leg. Now send your right hand to hold your left foot, like Chapasana earlier. Lean a little bit into your own left ribs, not into anybody else's left ribs. And then once you're there, press your left knee away from your body to open up. Coming into the shape of infinity. And soften. Release. And then you can flip around. So you come down onto your right hip now. Drop your shoulder. And then as you bend into your left knee, use your right hand to reach over. Peace grip your toes. Extend your leg. And you can stay right here. Or fit your shoulder right inside your leg. You can pause here and take a hand to your thigh. Or begin to bend through your right knee and take hold of your foot. Roll toward your right ribs and then press the ground with your right leg. Opening up. Anantasana variation. And then slowly release. Sitting on your sitting bones. Put a little bend in your knees. Reach under your legs and fold into yourself. You can keep the grip for your Paschimottanasana or move your hands down to your feet. Breathe all the way out. Sit yourself up. And then you can begin to roll down onto your back and take rest. Maybe this is your time to sit. And these words are from the poet Nikki Giovanni. I was born in the Congo. I walked to the Fertile Crescent and built the Sphinx. I designed a pyramid so tough that a star that only glows every 100 years falls into the center, giving divine, perfect light. I am bad. I sat on the throne drinking nectar with Allah. I got hot and sent an ice age to Europe to cool my thirst. My daughter is Nefertiti. The tears from my birth pains created the Nile. I am a beautiful woman. I gazed on the forest and burned out the Sahara Desert with a packet of goat's meat and a change of clothes. I crossed it in 2 hours. I am a gazelle so swift you can't catch me. For a birthday present, when he was 3, I gave my son Hannibal an elephant. He gave me Rome for Mother's Day. My strength flows ever on. My son Noah built new ark, and I stood proudly at the helm. As we sailed on a soft summer day, I turned myself into myself and was Jesus. Men intone my loving name, all praises, I am the one who would save. I sow diamonds in my backyard. My bowels deliver uranium. The filings from my fingernails are semi-precious jewels. On a trip north, I caught a cold and blew my nose giving oil to the Arab world. I am so hip, even my errors are correct. I sailed west to reach east and had to round off the earth as I went. The hair from my head thinned and gold was laid across 3 continents. I am so perfect, so divine, so ethereal, so surreal, I cannot be comprehended except by my permission. I mean, I can fly like a bird in the sky. Ego Tripping by Nikki Giovanni. Start to move around and deepen your breath. Roll to your side and make your way up to sit. Bring your hands into your heart. We are one life, we are one light, and we are one love. I bow with gratitude to the divine light in you that is the same divine light in me. Peace be with you and blessings upon you. Thanks for tuning in. See you again next time.